My name is Donna Lewis. A baby was left at my doorstep, and the note said to call you. Silence. Then a voice, low, controlled, dangerous, cut through the line like a blade. Describe the blanket. Cream-colored silk, gold dragon embroidered on it. The steel in his voice shattered. Do not move. Donna's hands trembled around the phone. She looked down at the newborn sleeping in the carrier, peaceful, oblivious, wrapped in fabric worth more than her rent. She knew that name. Everyone did. Kang Yeol-soo, the Korean Mafia boss whose enemies disappeared without a trace. 9 minutes later, black SUVs flooded her street, and the most dangerous man in 3 states knelt before her, hands shaking, voice cracked. This is my son. He lifted his head, eyes darkening with fury. Someone left him here because they want him dead, and now they know your face. The rain hammered against the thin metal roof of Donna Lewis's apartment building like fists pounding on a locked door, each drop echoing through the empty hallway as she climbed the final flight of stairs. Her scrubs, still damp with sweat from 10 hours at the clinic, clung to her exhausted frame. Her fingers, cracked from constant hand-washing and latex gloves, fumbled with the grocery bag balanced on her hip. Inside, off-brand children's Tylenol, a can of soup, and crackers for Maya, whose fever had kept Donna awake for 2 nights straight. The hallway lights flickered overhead like dying candles, casting jittery shadows across the stained carpet. Donna had walked this corridor 1,000 times before, but tonight the silence pressed against her like something solid, the darkness between the doorways deeper than usual. She nearly dropped her keys when she saw it, a baby carrier, sitting directly in front of her apartment door. At first glance, Donna thought someone had left behind a delivery, until she noticed the blanket. Cream-colored silk, expensive, embroidered with a gold dragon that seemed to glow under the dying hallway light. And beneath it, a newborn, sleeping peacefully, impossibly still. Her breath caught. She scanned the corridor. Empty. Silent. No footsteps retreating. No cameras. No explanation. Then she saw the note pinned to the blanket. 2 words, handwritten in sharp black ink. Call Kang Yeol-soo. Donna's stomach dropped. She knew that name. Everyone in the city did. Kang Yeol-soo, the Korean Mafia boss whose empire stretched across 3 states. The man whose enemies disappeared without a trace. The man whose shadows were said to swallow people whole. Her hands trembled as she lifted the baby. He was warm, breathing softly, impossibly peaceful, not abandoned. Placed. Inside the carrier's pocket, her fingers found a phone, sleek, black, encrypted, with only 1 number saved. Lord, what am I walking into? She whispered. She pressed call. The line connected instantly. Who is this? The voice was low, controlled, dangerous, the kind of voice that made her knees go weak. Donna swallowed hard. My name is Donna Lewis, she said, steadying her breath. A baby was left at my doorstep, and the note said to call you. A sharp inhale, then silence. A terrifying, calculating silence. Describe the blanket, he demanded. Cream-colored, she said. Silk. There's a gold dragon embroidered on it. The steel in his voice shattered. Do not move. He was no longer calm. He was a man whose world had just been set on fire. I'm coming to you now. 9 minutes later, exactly 9, the hallway lit up with the glow of black SUVs. Donna's legs nearly gave out when Kang Yeol-soo stepped inside the building. He was exactly as the rumors said, tattooed from neck to arms, hair slicked back, black shirt stretched over a fighter's build. His expression was unreadable, posture lethal, but his eyes locked onto the baby with something raw, unguarded, broken. He knelt. His hands shook. His breath hitched. Let me see him, he said softly. Donna cautiously handed the infant over. Yeol-soo exhaled a sound, caught somewhere between relief and fury. This is my son, he whispered. Someone left him here, Donna replied, her voice trembling. Who would do that? His jaw tightened. My enemies. He lifted his head slowly, and when his eyes met hers, Donna saw something that made her blood run cold. Not anger. Fear. Someone left him here because they want him dead, he said, his voice low and deadly. They chose your door. Your building. They watched you walk up those stairs. Donna's chest seized. What are you saying? Yeol-su rose to his full height, the baby cradled protectively against his chest. I'm saying they know your face now. The words hung in the air like smoke. Donna clutched the doorframe, her mind racing. Maya sleeping inside unaware, her empty bank account, her dead-end job, and now this. And now, Yeol-su continued, his voice dropping to a near whisper. You're involved, whether you meant to be or not. There are people in this world who abandon the innocent, who leave babies on doorsteps to be used as pawns, who target single mothers because they think no one will protect them. If you believe everyone deserves to be protected, subscribe to K-Pop Tales Studios right now. Only cowards who side with people like Yeol-su's enemies won't. Drop a comment with the time you're watching this. Let's see how far this story travels. Yeol-su's eyes swept the dim hallway like a predator scanning for threats. Then they locked onto Donna. Who saw you come home tonight? The question hit her like a slap. No one, she said. I don't think anyone. Think harder. His voice was ice. The lobby. The stairs. Anyone in the windows. Donna's mind raced backward through the rain. The flickering lights, the empty corridors. No one, she repeated. It's always dead this time of night. Yeol-su studied her face, searching for lies, for hesitation, for any crack in her composure. But Donna held his gaze. She had nothing to hide. Why my door? She asked. Out of every apartment in this building, why mine? Something flickered behind his eyes. Because whoever left him knew I would come immediately, he said quietly. They knew I would never harm a woman who protected a child. The words settled over Donna like a weight. You were chosen deliberately, he continued. A single mother, a nurse, someone with nothing to gain and everything to lose. Donna's throat tightened. So I'm what? Bait. You were supposed to be disposable. The baby stirred in Yeol-su's arms, letting out a thin, reedy cry. His face shifted instantly, loss of control. Uncertainty. The most powerful man in 3 states, and he looked terrified of a 7-pound infant. Then, he did something Donna never expected. He held the baby out to her. Take him. She blinked. What? His name is Min-jun. He was born 5 weeks premature. Yeol-su's jaw tightened. He needs monitoring, medical attention, things I cannot provide. Donna took the baby instinctively, cradling him against her chest. Min-jun's cries softened immediately, his tiny fingers curling around the fabric of her scrubs. He needs a hospital, she said. Not me. Hospitals ask questions, file reports. My enemies have people everywhere. Before Donna could respond, Min-jun's breathing changed. Shallow, rapid, his tiny chest rising and falling too fast. Donna's training kicked in before her fear could catch up. She adjusted his position, tilting his head back slightly to open his airway. Her fingers found his pulse, thready but steady. He's not getting enough oxygen, she said, keeping her voice calm. Could be immature lungs, could be the cold. I need to warm him properly and monitor his breathing. She moved past Yeol-su into her apartment without waiting for permission. Inside, Maya slept peacefully on the couch, thumb in her mouth, oblivious to the chaos unfolding around her. Donna grabbed a clean towel, wrapped Min-jun snugly, and positioned him upright against her shoulder. Within seconds, his breathing began to stabilize. Yeol-su stood frozen in the doorway, watching her work. You've done this before, he said. I'm a NICU-trained nurse. Donna didn't look up. Premature babies were my specialty before I transferred to general care. Silence stretched between them. When she finally turned around, something in Yeol-su's expression had shifted. The cold mask had cracked, just slightly, revealing something beneath. Desperation, grief, and something else Donna couldn't name. "I need you to care for him," he said. Donna's stomach dropped. "Excuse me. You are the only person I trust with him now. You don't even know me. I know you called me when anyone else would have walked away. I know you protected him before you knew who he belonged to. I know you just saved his life with your bare hands while I stood there useless." His voice was raw. "My organization is compromised. I don't know who betrayed me, who told my enemies about Min Jun's existence. Until I find them, I cannot trust anyone inside my own house." Donna shook her head. "I have a daughter, a job, bills I can barely pay. I can't just. I'll triple whatever you make at the clinic. Your daughter comes with you. Private security, private tutoring, anything she needs." "This isn't about money. Then what is it about?" Donna looked down at Min Jun, now breathing peacefully against her chest. Then at Maya, still curled on the couch, innocent and unaware. "If I say no," Donna said slowly, "what happens to me?" Yeol Su held her gaze. "I walk away, and I still protect you." She frowned. "Why?" "Because my son was left at your door. That makes you my responsibility, whether you work for me or not." It wasn't a threat. That's what scared her most. It was a vow. Donna looked at Maya again, thought about the photograph that might already exist, her face, her building, a crosshair over her chest, thought about her empty bank account, her useless door lock, her landlord who wouldn't fix the broken window latch. She couldn't protect both children alone. "Okay," she whispered. Yeol Su exhaled. Loss of tension she hadn't realized he'd been holding. "Pack lightly," he said. "We leave within the hour." Donna's heart pounded. And then what? His eyes met hers, dark, unreadable, but no longer cold. "From this moment," he said quietly, "you're under my protection." Some people think single mothers are easy targets, that no one will fight for them, that they can be used and discarded without consequence. If you believe mothers like Donna deserve protection and respect, subscribe to K-Pop Tales Studios right now and hit that notification bell. Only those who side with cowards and predators will scroll past. Comment the time you're watching and tell us, would you have made the same choice Donna did? The steel gates parted like the jaws of a beast, and Donna's breath caught in her throat. Yeol Su's estate sprawled before her, a fortress of stone and shadow, surrounded by walls that could stop bullets and silence that could swallow screams. Armed guards lined the entrance, their eyes tracking the SUV as it rolled up the long driveway. Each one stood motionless, weapons visible, faces blank. Maya pressed closer to Donna's side, clutching her stuffed rabbit. "Mommy, is this a castle?" Donna swallowed. "Something like that, baby." The vehicle stopped in front of a mansion that looked like it belonged in another world. Marble columns darkened windows, ivy creeping up the walls like veins. Beautiful and terrifying in equal measure. Inside was worse. Silent corridors stretched in every direction, lined with locked doors and security cameras that blinked red in the shadows. The staff they passed, maids, guards, men in suits, all stopped to stare at Donna. Some with confusion, some with barely concealed suspicion. A black woman carrying a baby and holding a toddler's hand, walking through the heart of the Korean underworld. She didn't belong here. Everyone knew it. Yeol Su led them to a private wing of the mansion, a nursery already prepared, a bedroom for Donna and Maya across the hall. "Min Jun's medical records," he said, handing her a file. "His mother's pregnancy was high risk. He arrived 5 weeks early. His lungs are underdeveloped. His immune system is fragile." Donna scanned the documents, her nurse's instincts taking over. "He needs consistent monitoring, proper feeding schedule, controlled temperature. Then you'll have everything you need." She looked up at him. "And you? When's the last time you held him for more than 5 minutes?" Yeol Su's jaw tightened. "I'm not built for this." "You're his father." "I'm a killer." The words hung between them, raw, honest, unflinching. Donna stepped closer, Minjun cradled in her arms. Sit down. He blinked. What? Sit. Down. For a moment he didn't move. Then, loss of something like obedience, he lowered himself into the chair beside the crib. Donna placed Minjun in his arms, adjusting his grip, positioning his hands. Support his head. Relax your shoulders. He can feel your tension. Yeol-su looked down at his son, like he was holding a bomb that might detonate. His tattooed arms that had ended lives, trembled around the tiny infant. He's so small, he whispered. He's stronger than he looks, Donna said. Like his father, I'm guessing. Something flickered in Yeol-su's eyes. Gratitude. Vulnerability. A crack in the armor he wore like a second skin. For a moment, he was just a man terrified of failing his son. But the mansion never let Donna forget where she was. Late at night, she heard voices drifting through the vents, sharp, urgent, dangerous. The shipment was intercepted. Someone's feeding information to the John Syndicate. We need to find the rat before they find us. Donna's blood ran cold. She was living inside a war zone dressed in marble and silk. Every instinct screamed at her to grab Maya and run. But where would she go? Back to the apartment with the broken lock? Back to the empty bank account and the landlord pounding on her door? And Minjun, he cried less when she held him. Slept longer. Breathed easier. She couldn't abandon him. Not yet. 3 days later, Yeol-su burst into the nursery. Donna had never seen him like this. Face pale, hand shaking, eyes blazing with fury and something deeper. Something that looked like fear. What happened? She demanded. He thrust a photograph into her hands. Donna's heart stopped. It was her, standing in the hallway of her old building, Minjun in her arms. The image was grainy, taken from a distance, but clear enough to see her face, and over her chest, a red crosshair. They've been watching you, Yeol-su said, his voice barely controlled. Since before you called me. They knew exactly where to leave him. They knew you would protect him, and they've been waiting to see what I would do. Donna's hands trembled. What do they want? Leverage. His jaw flexed. They want to see how much you're worth to me. I'm nobody to you. You're the woman raising my son. He stepped closer, and Donna saw something she'd never expected to see in the eyes of a Mafia boss. Terror. Minjun's mother, he said quietly. She was killed because someone wanted to hurt me. They couldn't touch me directly, so they took her. Made me watch. Made me bury her while my son fought for his life in an incubator. Donna's breath caught. I won't let that happen again. He reached out, slowly, carefully, and cupped her face in his hands. His palms were rough, scarred, but his touch was impossibly gentle. They won't touch you, he whispered, voice trembling with restrained emotion. Not while I'm breathing. There are people in this world who hunt the innocent, who target mothers and children because they think no one will fight back. If you stand against cowards who hide in shadows and prey on the vulnerable, subscribe to K-Pop Tales Studios right now. Only those who side with predators like the John Syndicate will scroll past without subscribing. Comment the time you're watching and tell us, do you think Yeol-su can keep his promise? Stay tuned, because the war for Minjun's life is just beginning. The days that followed blurred into a rhythm Donna never expected. Feeding schedules and security briefings, lullabies and loaded weapons. Yeol-su trained his men harder than before. She heard them in the courtyard at dawn, running drills, sparring, preparing for something that felt inevitable. The tension in the mansion had shifted from simmering to boiling. But in the quiet hours when the guards changed shifts and the hallways fell silent, Yeol-su would appear at the nursery door, watching, learning. You're holding him too tight again, Donna said one evening, guiding his arms. He needs to feel secure, not trapped. Yeol-su adjusted, jaw clenched in concentration. Minjun fussed for a moment, then settled against his father's chest with a soft sigh. Something broke open in Yeol Su's expression. He's never done that before, he whispered. He knows you're trying. Their eyes met, and for a moment the Mafia boss and the nurse were just two people trying to keep a child alive. Maya started calling him Mr. Yeol. He didn't correct her. Once, Donna caught him showing her how to fold a paper crane, his scarred hands gentle and patient. They were beginning to move like a family, and that terrified Donna more than the guards with guns. Not everyone in the mansion accepted her presence. Lieutenant Shin, Yeol Su's head of security, made that clear. She's a liability, he said one morning, not bothering to lower his voice as Donna passed. A stranger with full access to the boss's heir. We don't even know where she came from. Donna stopped walking. I came from a double shift at a clinic that pays me barely enough to keep the lights on, she said, turning to face him. I came from a building with broken locks and a landlord who doesn't care if I live or die. I came from the same streets. Your men patrol like they own them. Shin's eyes narrowed. And now I'm here because your boss asked me to keep his son alive, which I've done every single day while you stand around questioning my loyalty. She stepped closer. So unless you want to explain to him why you're harassing the woman he trusted with his child, I suggest you find someone else to interrogate. Silence. Then footsteps behind her. Yeol Su. He looked at Shin with an expression that could freeze blood. Is there a problem? Shin straightened. No, boss. Good. Because if I hear you disrespect her again, you won't hear anything else. He walked away without another word. But Donna saw it, the flicker of something warm in his eyes as he passed her. Pride. The contrast never stopped jarring her. 1 hour, she was warming formula and checking Minjun's oxygen levels. The next, she was watching Yeol Su in his office through a cracked door, voice cold as steel, ordering things she didn't want to understand. The John Syndicate hit our warehouse in Busan. 3 men dead. Find out who talked, and make sure they don't talk again. This was his world. Blood and loyalty. Power and consequence. And she was raising his son in the middle of it. The attack came without warning. One moment Donna was putting Maya to bed. The next, loss of glass exploding inward. Bullets tearing through the walls like paper. Maya screamed. Donna grabbed her, snatched Minjun from the crib, and dropped to the floor. Stay down, baby. Stay down. Gunfire erupted from every direction, inside and outside the mansion. Shouts, running footsteps, the deafening crack of returned fire. The nursery door burst open. Yeol Su, blood on his shirt, gun in hand, eyes wild. Come with me. Now. He grabbed Donna's arm, shielding all 3 of them with his body as they ran. Bullets bit into the walls behind them, plaster raining down like snow. They reached a hidden door, loss of reinforced steel behind a bookcase, and plunged into a narrow corridor beneath the mansion. Emergency lights flickered overhead. Maya sobbed against Donna's chest. Minjun wailed, and Donna's legs finally gave out. She collapsed against the wall, shaking, gasping, tears streaming down her face. I can't do this. Yeol Su knelt beside her. His hands, still gripping the gun, trembled. You're safe, he said, voice cracking. You're safe. I've got you. They almost killed my daughter. They almost. I know. He pulled her against him. Minjun and Maya pressed between them. I know. For a long moment, they stayed like that. 4 people huddled in an underground hallway, breathing together, hearts pounding in unison. You are part of my family now, Yeol Su whispered against her hair, whether you wanted to be or not. And I will burn this city to the ground before I let them touch you again. They emerged hours later, after the gunfire stopped and the bodies were cleared. Yeol Su's lieutenant approached with a phone. Message from the John Syndicate, boss. Yeol Su took it. Read the screen. His expression didn't change, but his eyes ignited with something Donna had never seen before. Pure, undiluted murder. What does it say? She asked. He turned the phone toward her. 1 line. Give us the woman. Keep the baby. There are people in this world who think mothers are bargaining chips. Disposable, replaceable, worth trading away like property. If you believe Donna's life matters as much as anyone else's, subscribe to K-Pop Tales Studios right now. Only those who side with monsters like the John Syndicate will scroll past without hitting that button. Comment the time you're watching and tell us, what would you do if you received that message? Stay tuned, because Yeol-soo is about to show them exactly what Donna is worth to him. The trap was perfect. A guard Donna trusted told her Maya needed air, that the garden courtyard was clear. She didn't question it. She just wanted her daughter to see the sky. They never made it past the gate. Black van, masked men, Maya screaming as Donna was dragged away, a cloth pressed over her mouth. She woke in a warehouse, concrete floors, flickering lights, the smell of rust and oil. And standing before her, John Sang-hoon, the rival boss. You're more valuable than I expected, he said, circling her like a predator. Kang Yeol-soo's weakness, wrapped in nurse's scrubs. Donna's wrists burned against the zip ties. Min-jun is his only heir, Sang-hoon continued. His existence threatens every syndicate in this region. And you, he smiled, you're the leverage that will make him hand the child over. He won't. Then you die. Either way, I win. A teenage guard stood nearby, trembling, barely old enough to hold a gun. When Sang-hoon raised his weapon toward the boy for hesitating, Donna moved. Wait. She stood between them, heart pounding. You want Yeol-soo broken? Killing a child won't do that. But making him choose between his son and the woman raising him. She held Sang-hoon's gaze. That's the kind of wound that never heals. Sang-hoon paused, ego flickering. You're smarter than you look. She was stalling and praying. The doors exploded inward. Gunfire erupted. Loss of chaos, shouting, bodies dropping. Yeol-soo stormed through the smoke like wrath incarnate, his men flanking him, weapons blazing. He cut through Sang-hoon's guards with terrifying precision, then stopped. Sang-hoon had Donna, loss of gun pressed to her temple. Drop it, Kong, or she dies. Yeol-soo's chest heaved. His eyes locked onto Donna's, and he lowered his weapon. Let her go. Sang-hoon laughed. You really would sacrifice everything for... Donna moved. A sharp twist. Loss of technique. She'd watched Yeol-soo drill into his men, and the gun clattered to the floor. Sang-hoon stumbled. Yeol-soo's men swarmed him instantly. It was over. Back at the mansion, silence settled like dust after a storm. Min-jun slept peacefully on Yeol-soo's chest. Tiny fingers curled against his shirt. Donna sat beside them, still trembling, still processing. I could rebuild my empire, Yeol-soo said quietly. I could survive betrayal, lose everything I've built. He turned to her. But losing you would destroy me. Donna's breath caught. I've never felt safe anywhere, she whispered. Not in my apartment. Not at work. Not anywhere. She looked at him. Except when you're near. Their hands touched. Loss of hesitant, trembling, and neither pulled away. Stay, he said. Not because you need protection. Not because of Min-jun. Then why? Because I need you. She laced her fingers through his. Okay. They decided that night Donna would stay. Maya and Min-jun would grow up together. Whatever came next, they'd face it as a family. Then Yeol-soo's phone buzzed. His jaw tightened as he read the message. What is it? Donna asked. A shadow syndicate. His voice was ice. They're claiming Min-jun isn't my only heir. Donna touched his shoulder. Whatever comes, she said firmly, we face it together. He looked at her. Loss of gratitude, fear, love, and nodded. Together. There are people who think women like Donna are expendable. That single mothers can be used as pawns and thrown away when they're no longer useful. If you believe every woman deserves to be valued and protected, subscribe to K-Pop Tales Studios right now. Only those who side with predators like John Sang-hoon will scroll past. Comment family if you're standing with Donna and Yeol Soo. And tell us what time you're watching. This story is far from over.